morning. Today we are going to record the entire quantum breath meditation practice in addition to chanting of two mantras which have been shown to prevent COVID-19 and decrease the symptoms of COVID-19. This has come out of the Indian Council of Medical Research, where patients were asked to listen to these mantras in addition to regular treatment, and the group who did the chanting or listened to the chanting fared much better. So I thought that we'll do that in addition to our regular practice of quantum breath meditation. Let me make sure that the volume is proper. So quantum breath meditation is a progressive slowing down of the mind so we can meditate. In today's practice, I'll take you up to the meditation and then you continue the meditation for about 20 minutes. So we may not record the entire amount. As soon as 1 hour passes, then I'll stop. But this could be an instructional video, or if you want to listen to the mantras, this would be good for that. So the first breath we do is called Bhastrika, which is active inhalation and active exhalation. We don't do it as forcibly as we do it regular Bhastrika, so we call it soft Bhastrika. This is to increase the activity of the brainstem to wake us up. So I call it wake up practice. It does secrete certain neurotransmitters from the brain, specifically caffeine-like substances. So you can wake up without caffeine in your system because your brain, the hypothalamus, is capable of producing any chemical you need, whether it is for waking up, for pain relief, or for happiness. The happy hormones, dopamine, all those can be secreted by the brain. Not only the brain, but these same neurotransmitters can be secreted by your gut, which in Ayurveda we always discuss the importance of gut-brain barrier. And you can have all these neurotransmitters secrete from the gut also if you keep your gut biome happy. The third place you can secrete these neurotransmitters is from the skin being the largest organ, and it produces every neurotransmitter which your brain or gut produces. So doing different massages and therapies, you can secrete these neurotransmitters. But today we are going to do the secretion of these neurotransmitters from the brain. So watch me practice first, and then we can continue the uh, practice together. Breathe out completely. Breathe in comfortably. Raise your forehead to the ceiling and hold your breath. So let's break down this practice. First is breathing in and breathing out in an active, forceful manner, but done slowly. We always check our posture before we start any practices in pranayama. The pelvis should be tilted forward by sitting on a pillow or blanket. The sacrum is moving forward. The lumbar curve is in place. The ribs are moving away from the hips. The shoulders are moving down. The gaze is forward, and head and neck are moving towards the ceiling. When we finish the breath, which is usually about 20 times, there's no hard and fast rule. When you feel like stopping it, you can stop it. Then we hold our breath with the forehead raised to the ceiling, and we hold it as long as our body will allow it. There is no forcible holding of breath in any of these practices. When we breathe out in pulses so as to contract the diaphragm every time we breathe out. So we divide the exhalation into several small pieces that helps in strengthening the diaphragm, and it helps in function of the lung. Then we hold the breath at the end of exhalation as long as body will allow, and then we come up and we start normal breathing. So now you can follow with me the second round. Breathe out completely. Breathe in comfortably. Raise your forehead to the ceiling and hold your breath. So we do this Bhastrika practice 2 times to wake us up. Next, we do a few postures to release the tension in neck, shoulders area. We start with moving the shoulder forward, backward, shrug the shoulders to the ears, all the time maintaining the vertical posture as I described before. Turn your head to the right side as far as it'll go and breathe normally. Come back to the center. Turn your head to the left side. Come back to the center. Look up towards the ceiling. Come back to the center. Bend forwards to touch the ground with your forehead. Feel the stretch in the lower back and breathe normally. Come back to the center and breathe normally. Turn your head to the right shoulder, left hand on the floor next to the left knee, and feel the stretch in the left side of the neck. Breathe normally. Come back to the center. Turn your head to the left shoulder, right hand on the ground next to the right knee and breathe normally. Come back to the center and breathe normally. Now we're going to twist to the right, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you, twist your torso, maintaining the vertical nature of the torso, and look at the back wall. And we'll do soft Kapalabhati, which is forceful exhalation done softly. Come back to the center. Twist to the right, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you, and look at the back wall. And we'll do soft Kapalabhati here. Come back to the center and breathe normally. Now let's talk about Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is a pranayam practice which includes forceful exhalation and passive inhalation. This is one of the most physiologically researched practice, has been shown to increase the production of dopamine from the brain, which is involved with all kind of neurological psychiatric disorders, anxiety, depression, addictions are all related to dopamine production. Even diseases like Parkinson has some relationship to dopamine production. So this is to increase the production of dopamine from the hypothalamus. So it's a very beneficial practice for clearing the mind and removing any hang-ups about addictions, anxiety, depression. It is good for all of them, especially for depression and addictions. And I'll demonstrate the practice one time and then we'll do it together. So sitting up straight again, take a deep breath in. Again, the practice is done in a slow manner. The fast Kapalabhati is not our goal here. We contract the stomach muscles so that the diaphragm contracts and releases all the carbon dioxide from the body, from the lungs. So the meaning of this practice, Kapalabhati, Kapal means forehead, Bhati means shining. So you've got so much oxygen in your blood that your forehead is shining. Again, very beneficial practice. I call it clearing the mind. Now we'll do the same practice with alternate nostril breathing. So sitting up straight, close the right nostril with the right thumb. Take a deep breath in through the left nostril and start. Breathe out completely. Breathe in comfortably. Raise your forehead to the ceiling and hold your breath. Now breathe normally. There is a period of spontaneous cessation of breath. When we raise our forehead to the ceiling and hold our breath, that is a spontaneous cessation. We don't force it, we let it hold as long as the body will allow. The stimulus to breathing is the accumulation of carbon dioxide in the blood. As we have removed all the carbon dioxide during Kapalabhati, it takes a few minutes for carbon dioxide to accumulate in the body. And at that time, we start to breathe again. The next practice is alternate nostril breathing or Anulom Vilom. This is a practice which is beneficial for balancing the left and right side of the brain. The left side of the brain is represented by the right nostril. The right side of the brain is represented by the left nostril. Left side represents the male energy, right side represents the female energy. As you remember, Ida and Pingala, the two energetic channels in our chakra system, bring the prana or the chi and it crosses in behind the neck, so that the Ida represents the right side of the brain, Pingala represents the left side of the brain. It also called sun and moon channel. Sun channel represents the right nostril or the left side of the brain. The left nostril represents the moon channel or the right side of the brain. We can also call it sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, balancing breath. Very beneficial breath decreases the activity of the sympathetic nervous system, decreases the production of fight or flight hormones from the body and the neurotransmitters, and help us quieten the mind. So sitting up straight, close the right nostril with your right thumb. Take a deep breath in through the left nostril. Close the left nostril and breathe out slowly through the right nostril. Breathe in through the right nostril. Close the right nostril and breathe out slowly through the left nostril. We'll do a few rounds on our own. You can stop this practice after your last breath through the left nostril. Tips about this practice: that we do it very slow. There is no holding of breath at the end of inhalation or exhalation. It is a continuous breath. Notice how calm your mind is, how slow your breath is. How slow your pulse is. All of these are indicator that the parasympathetic activity has increased with this practice. After 10 minutes of this practice, your sympathetic nervous system will go down. So if you have anxiety, panic attacks, this is a great practice to do for 10 minutes several times a day. If you have trouble sleeping, doing it in the middle of the night for 10 minutes will help you fall back to sleep. Next, I'm going to introduce you to two mantras which are specifically indicated during these days of COVID, and then a breath which is also indicated during COVID. You can just listen to them. I'll chant it 3 times each. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo yo nah prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo yo nah prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo yo nah prachodayat. This is also called Gayatri Mantra or prayer to the sun energy. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukviva Vandanat Mrityormukshi Amamritam. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukviva Vandanat Mrityormukshi Amamritam. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukviva Vandanat
Mrityormukshi Amamritam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. So this mantra is for immortality, to break the cycle of birth, rebirth and death. So these two mantras have been experimented to show preventing coronavirus or decreasing the symptoms of coronavirus. This is based on vibrational medicine. The vibration of these mantras have been linked to the vibration of the coronavirus. Next is the practice of Brahmari Pranayama, also called bumblebee breath, also called humming inside the skull and sinuses. It has been shown to increase the production of nitric oxide in the respiratory mucosa, especially the nasal and paranasal sinuses, nasal mucosa, nasal passages all see an increase of nitric oxide, a gas which increases the blood supply to these passages. Increasing the blood supply increases the immune reaction and prevents any foreign material from getting into the respiratory passages. So this is a good practice during COVID also. I'll demonstrate once and then we'll do it again together. Closing the tragus or the ears with your thumbs, placing the fingers on the face, take a deep breath in through the nose and start. We'll do it 3 times. First time we'll put the tongue on the back of the teeth. Second time we'll put the tongue on the hard palate. And third time we'll put the tongue on the soft palate. Now breathe normally. Next we'll go into meditation. And you can change the sequence of these breaths, especially the chanting and the bumblebee breath. You can do them after the meditation. And I'll give you the instructions for meditations and then stop the recording. You need to continue it for 20 minutes. Bring your attention to your third eye, a point in the middle of your forehead about 1.5 inches deep, or your mantra if you have one. Focus your attention on the third eye or your mantra. From time to time, your attention may be diverted by the sounds in the environment or your own thoughts. When you notice that, gently bring your attention back to observing your third eye or your mantra. Relinquish any expectation from this meditation and simply be a witness to your mantra or the third eye. I'll keep track of time and let you know when to finish. Please continue this practice for 20 minutes. You can set a soft alarm or a bell for 20 minutes. Thank you. And you can join me for my live presentation every morning at 8 o'clock through Zoom till August 31st, 2020, except for Saturdays and Sundays, 8 to 8:40. If you need the Zoom link, please email me and I'll send it to you. Thank you. Jai Bhagwan.